So why not plug in and listen to us rant about our favorite scenes? We could sit and talk all day, but we got bills to pay. So for now, we're the Bench Boys, we're the Bench Boys, coming to you live. We're the Bench Boys, we're the Bench Boys, coming to you live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the December 13th episode of the Bench Boys podcast.
Friday the 13th.
I hate computers. I don't know why our song just likes to derp now. That's 2 weeks in a row of just handy-capable music playing.
It's good. Good stuff.
I'm Tyler, and Jared is with you, or with us. With you.
With you
Not
too.
with me.
Yeah.
Jared, there's
I'm not
a
with
wall.
him.
Kind of like on the stream. There's just a wall here.
Yeah.
Goes away.
I don't want to see him.
I believe Brett is going to join us eventually as well.
Yeah, I should be in there momentarily. Just got to finish a couple things. I'll
Big
be there.
old bitch. I don't know where to start today.
Well, we could talk about crazy goalie incident.
Yeah, sure.
If
Why
you
not?
want.
Let's start with Tucker Tynan. Because, first of all, he's got an amazing name. If he didn't have such a great name, he
TT,
may have
man.
died. That was clearly why he prevailed
Yeah.
through this incident.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, we will give you a heads up. The Niagara Ice Dogs were playing a game in the OHL last night, and their goaltender, Tucker Tynan, was making a save, and a player from the London Knights biffed, went skate first into Tucker Tynan's leg, which 99 times out of 100,
I mean, it happens a lot.
like guys go that way. Like it happens. The pads generally get in the way, pants get in the way, whatever. This freak accident, the skate went under the pants and sliced Tynan's leg open.
Like real bad.
Bad. I saw pictures of it after I got home last night, after the brutal Flames Leafs game. But it looked like somebody died. It literally looked like somebody died on the ice.
It looked like a damn crime scene, man. Especially some of the pictures after. It's just like equipment
There's
everywhere.
just equipment.
like,
there's
blood.
towels. There's blood. Like
Lots of
it's
blood.
just gnarly.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Tucker Tynan is stable and in good condition. He's recovering. His surgery went well. He's out of the woods.
That's like an immediate surgery, too,
Oh.
right? It's like, oh, we need to fix this now. Like,
They would have done surgery in the ambulance if they could.
yeah, like, frick.
Absolutely freak accident. Absolutely amazing job by the trainers.
That
both
too,
the Knights
right?
and the Ice Dogs trainers. Amazing job by the paramedics. Just across the board, it's naturally they postponed the hockey game because that would have been impossible to play.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, just to clean the damn blood up, it would take a long time.
Man, they're gonna have
Plus,
to
like,
redo the ice.
that's, like, emotional, on especially
Oh.
junior players.
Yeah.
That's freaking a
Well,
lot
like,
to handle.
You think about an NHL injury where a guy gets stretchered off or something. The mood in that rink is just immediately crushed.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter what happened in the
No.
game. It always takes, like, a good, like 10 minutes
Well,
of
like,
play. to,
Think of like Scott Sabourin this year in the
Yeah.
NHL when he got knocked out in that fight and just
Right,
bloodied up and left on the stretcher and all that stuff. Like that, the game was never the same.
right.
You might as well just postpone the game. This is obviously,
It's
it's
probably easier to do in junior, I guess.
that is probably true. It's probably true that it's easier on a major incident too. It's just, it's freaky. It's freaky for me, especially as a goalie still in beer league. Like if that was a beer league game,
Right.
I'm dead.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, we were talking about that. Like, yeah, imagine if that happens. It's just a normal community rink, Like, there's no one on a beer league team who knows what the fuck they're doing first aid.
I play hockey.
Really.
I play hockey with a guy that's going to school to be a paramedic.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's probably pretty good to have, realistically.
Don't think he's going to save my life because there's no other paramedics in the building.
Right.
If this was one guy, like if you had to wait for an ambulance, he's done.
Yeah. Right. Well, like if it's a lot, it'd be a lot scarier.
Right?
Because I guess they have ambulances just waiting at every rink, right?
Because you have to have paramedics on site, so I'm pretty sure they're with an ambulance.
Yeah, probably right.
So it's just crazy, right? It's an absolute freak accident. The CHL has had neck guards mandatory for as long as I can remember. Actually, I don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
It's like only been 5 or 6 years. It's probably longer than that, but it's.
Yeah.
I was just looking for an article to kind of remind myself of all the details of this before we came on, and one of them was, would this affect the way they look at goalies wearing cut resistant gear underneath? I don't know if it's going to change after one incident, because how long has it been?
Well, it's pretty damn difficult to like change rules too, right?
Well, I mean, yes and no. Probably.
I guess maybe more so when it comes to equipment.
Fighting rules didn't take very long to change in
That's
the
true.
dub or in the CHL, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, what is it? Automatic expansion or expansion?
Expansion.
What kind of word is that? Expansion.
Automatic
Suspension or
Suspension.
kicked out of the game or something?
I'm trying. What's the X word?
Huh? Expansion?
Yeah, I can't even. Ejection. That's the
yeah,
word.
yeah. See that?
Whoa.
Inspection, man.
I was like, I know there's an
Inspection.
Oh wow, that's.
Words are tough.
We're on fire to start here. I think they're all different. I think the QMJHL has a different stance as the OHL and the WHL, but they're all like, I'm pretty sure it's at least an ejection. I don't know if it's a suspension. I believe the OHL has some sort of rule like if it's your 5th fight or more, you get suspended or something, and then 10 fights you get 2 games or something like that. So it's pretty deterred, but there's still like it's still allowed. Sort
just
of.
doesn't happen very often.
It's
now.
just not as regular. I mean, which is fair because guys
fine.
used to like be fighters in the dub so they could be a fighter in the NHL and stuff like that. And it's like, well, that's not really a thing. So
yeah, that's not really a role anymore.
Yeah,
you have to be a good hockey player still.
Drew Doughty actually said something about fighting and like the other day.
Right, I
saying
saw that
you
quote.
know, if you don't have fights, you're gonna have rats,
Which is
blah, blah, blah,
completely true.
100%. But those are the fights that should be allowed. I think we've said this before. I agree with media people that say it, but an emotional fight is fine. It's the garbage that happens like at a whistle or like at a puck drop,
or like
stuff.
the Ronaldo and Campbell fight that happened in the freaking TV timeout.
Yeah, stuff like that.
What are you
It's
doing,
just like,
Campbell? Get out of here!
Right, stuff like that. It's like that's garbage. Like, that shit should never happen. And honestly, I haven't seen a staged fight in a long time.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last staged fight I saw.
Well, like, you don't really see like the lining up at a face-off dot. Like, yo, you want to go? Yeah, you want to go?
Like,
and then
you know,
drops and like, Rah,
Evander Kane and Ryan Reeves had their little brawl, where you knew they were gonna fight each other that game, but it wasn't unnecessary, if you want to call it that. But it wasn't like Ryan Reeves squaring up with Tom Wilson. Like that's the only reason they're fighting is because Ryan Reeves is a fighter, right? Like
yeah.
That fight had other reasons.
Whereas back in the day, it'd be like you have your fighter on your team, and then you have the other fighter on the other team, and you're like, okay, we're fighting tonight.
Colton Orr and McGrattan or something. And you're just like,
yeah, right. Yeah,
we're fighting. You know, we're fighters. So I'm fighting you tonight. Okay.
Yeah,
we're fighting. Okay.
George Peros.
Yeah. I remember that one of his last fights, and that was gruesome.
Yeah. That's why you don't do that.
But right, those fights don't happen anymore, and that's the fights that should be gone, 100%.
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
That's two things. That's I think hockey being too fast for Milan Lucic's, and it's also a fact of it's probably more unwritten where it was just like, okay, guys, like that's a 10, that's a guaranteed. Like you're sitting in the box for more than 5, kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, when the whole point of this fighting conversation was the rule changes and stuff. I think rule changes are easy enough to do, especially when it comes to equipment, because CCM does make cut-resistant under layers.
Right.
I've never worn them. I can't tell you how comfortable they are.
It'd be interesting to just like try them on or.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
The cut-resistant like socks, like not player socks, like feet socks.
Yeah.
When the ankle, like the Achilles cuts were
It was like
all the rage.
3 years ago, probably.
Yeah, there was the bunch of them, right? And
Yeah.
it was like those came out all of a sudden. And I think
Are those
people.
mandatory?
I don't think so.
I doubt it. Right.
Like,
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of players use them though.
maybe,
Well,
but maybe not.
Yeah, who really knows? I
It
guess.
depends, right? Because like if they're not comfortable, then I don't see a player, especially an NHL player, wearing them for fun.
Yeah, they're pretty
Right?
like
So
set
it's-
in their comfort level kind
Yeah,
of thing.
right. So it's like it's a question of that, and then it's also a question of if he was wearing it, would it have done anything? Because like if you're coming full speed, man, that's a lot. Like I don't think some stretchable Kevlar fabric's gonna do you any good.
Yeah, who knows really? Science, bitch.
Right? So it's like, but again, freak accident where it's like that skate hits 2 inches up, it probably just hits the pants. Hits
Yeah.
2 inches lower, it probably hits the pads. But instead, it hit like right in the middle, slides up,
Right in- yeah.
slices his leg.
Yeah, that was brutal.
But we kind of touched on it right before, where the neck guards, guys have worn neck guards forever. Well, sorry, I'm not talking like in dub or in the CHL, but like
minor hockey.
minor
yeah.
hockey, you've worn neck guards forever. I went into men's hockey. Nobody wears nobody wears neck guards.
Which I actually, it's like I didn't either though. But I think it was kind
I'll
of
be
like,
the first one to say that you look like a loser if you wear a neck guard in men's hockey.
right. And that's
'Cause-
I think the reason why I didn't wear it.
That's a lot of guys don't. Okay, first of all, you get turn off chirps wearing a cage.
Right.
Never mind a neck guard. But I understand it to a point because again, if a skate catches you in the neck, you're dead.
Well, like it's even like half the neck guards out there. Really, like there's a lot of room for it.
Well,
still,
that's
you
the other thing, right? Is like, I think the main like high danger area is like under your chin.
know? Right.
Like if a skate comes up, it's probably not going to go.
Yeah,
into
it's
your
not
neck.
gonna just stay.
It's
right
going to
here.
like
it's gonna
hit you in the
slide
chin
up.
or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, the neck guard doesn't do shit for that. And if it shaves you on the way by, well,
Just make it neck and cheek guard.
Yeah, make it like a turtleneck that's just extra long.
Yeah.
Do you remember those things? The
It's a
under. You remember
balaclava.
the Under Armour things that were neck guards too?
Oh yeah, right.
That was weird.
Yeah.
But right, so it's like, again, the entire U.S. hockey program, like minor hockey program, doesn't wear neck guards.
Really?
Yeah, dude, reffing, like you'd see an American team come up, like for example, when we go to the Max Midget tournament this year, there's going to be an American team, I think, from Chicago.
Okay.
They're not going to have a neck guard on. None of them.
Huh.
It's
And
not
it-
a thing.
And it's not even a
It's
thing in
not-
the tournament.
No.
Oh.
No, it's a lot of tournaments across the board. It's safety equipment regulations are based on where that team's from,
Oh, okay.
which is weird because
That
you'd
is
think
weird.
insurance and stuff would be
Right.
like, no,
Like you need an overall
need
kind
neck
of policy.
guards,
Yeah.
right? But even then, like mouth guards and stuff are kind of like that too. And it's just one of those things, right? But it's crazy because you would think that out of the amount of hours that hockey players play every year in North America, never mind across the world,
hmm
that somebody would get their neck cut.
But it just doesn't happen.
I haven't
yeah.
heard about it ever.
Yeah, true,
like I'm
true.
pretty sure if a 5-year-old kid got cut, you'd hear
Oh,
about
it would be everywhere. It's like the hit from behind or whatever that
Yeah.
just happened, right? In like Tyke, where
Yeah.
there's no hitting, dude gets hit from behind.
Yeah, right. Like you would hear about it. You would
Yeah,
hear about
you
this
definitely
stuff.
would.
And I've never heard of a guy legitimately getting his neck cut open, or girl,
Richard Zednick was the last one I
Yeah.
remember. I think that's the only one I've ever seen.
which is so long ago, right? And
Yeah,
neck
that's like
guards got put
10
in, right?
years
So it's
ago.
like
Yeah.
I could see this turning on a dime and making goalies wear this stuff, but would it do anything? I couldn't tell you. I have a hard time believing it would have stopped this incident.
Yeah, we'd
It's
have to
still terrifying.
see the research. But
But
yeah,
again, right, as a goalie, I don't wear a neck guard. That could have easily been his face.
well, like, because there's kind of like neck guard-ish built in to the body.
Not really.
Like, you kind of see it on some, at
it's like a
least.
lump, but it's not actually going to do anything.
Yeah, it's just kind of, but then you got like your plexiglass thingy.
Sometimes I don't wear one of those either.
Yeah, I guess lots of goalies don't wear them too.
It's because your chin on your helmet does that.
I guess you're always kind of chin tucked.
Well,
too,
yeah,
like
right, like-
boxing style. Like,
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, if the puck's coming up there, you're doing this, and
Yeah.
your chest pad's coming up, your neck's going. The only time it really gets you is if it's like deflection or something, and you're like expecting it to go somewhere else, and then it gets deflected underneath your chin. You're like, oh shit.
yeah, like my collarbone.
But like I don't know, I play enough hockey that I'm not. You see so many guys without it, even in the NHL, right? It's some wear it, some don't. I don't know. It's not requirement for a reason. But again, I don't know if the plexiglass is gonna save you
Yeah,
from a skate or something. So it's the freak accidents that scare you all the time. Anything you do.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
Hopefully he heals well.
yeah,
and-
good luck to Tucker Tynan. It's probably a tough time of the year to have this happen because
Yeah.
it's almost Christmas and
that
probably
is true.
want to see family and stuff. And
No, be gibbled up.
luckily for him, he wasn't like slated for the World Junior team or something
Yeah.
because that'd be rough.
Hell yeah, I guess we got that to look forward to pretty soon.
Just about
It's
there.
what, 3 weeks? 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks?
Yeah, and who was it? Arizona? No.
Oh, where
Somebody-
is it?
No, it's
oh.
in Czech Republic.
yeah,
Somebody
right.
just loaned Barrett Hayton to the World Junior team.
Oh, okay.
So they have an extra returnee.
Nice.
I don't remember where he's from though, because I'm dumb.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyway, to bigger and better things, the Detroit Red Wings finally won a hockey game. Broke their 12-game losing streak, which nicely spanned 5 coaches getting fired, which was a hilarious tweet I saw.
Yeah, right.
It was like 5 coaches have lost their jobs since the Red Wings last won a game. Nice.
Good job, Red Wings.
Which is kind of funny because it feels like with all the code of conduct hoopla stuff that it feels like there's been a whole bunch of coaches from that have gotten fired, but it's really only 2 of 5
Yeah,
because it's Peters and it's Montgomery, which is the newest one.
right.
The newest code of conduct fiery. But Babcock feels like it's code of conduct because of the shitstorm that's happened after he got fired.
Just, all the, naysaying
Yeah.
of him. Yeah.
But also this week, Peter DeBoer from the San Jose Sharks got fired because his team sucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're what were they?
Like 15, 16 and something or whatever.
Yeah, 15, 16, and 2.
I guess that's after yesterday, right?
No, they're 15, 17, and 2 now.
Oh, well, there you go. Coaching change really worked out.
They didn't really see the bump like everybody else has.
Yeah.
Speaking of coaching the Calgary Flames are on a 7-game winning streak now after last night's game,
Yeah.
which is unexpected.
Crazy.
For sure.
Yeah.
As Kyle put it last night, he's the plug whisperer because Frolik got on the board,
Yeah.
Travis Hamonic got on the board,
Yeah.
and Johnny Gaudreau had 2. But he's obviously not a plug. He's been a plug, but
He's unplugging himself.
Hamonic and Hamonic and
Frolik.
Frolik are plugs for sure.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I thought Lucic scored last night. I was terrified. That's one thing the Leafs did do, which was stop Lucic from scoring. But yeah, so the San Jose Sharks fired Peter DeBoer. I think that was fair. That team has arguably not the best defensive 6, but some of the best defensemen.
Yeah. Well, and like 2 of the better offensive defensemen in the league over the past decade.
Yeah. Like they're not good at playing defense by any stretch, but
Clearly.
Brent Burns and Erik Karlsson's having a decent year.
Yeah, he's doing better now. He had like a really slow start.
Yeah, but he's
yeah.
he's doing fine. He's on pace for probably 60 points.
Yeah.
He could use some defense and some team help, but I don't know, man. It was definitely time for a change.
Yeah.
That is very similar to the Mike Babcock firing, and you're just like, need a new voice in the room or what? Because like they should be competitive. There's no way they should be fourth last in the West.
Well, they did, yeah. They made the West final last year,
Yeah,
so
and
it should probably be better.
they did get lucky along the way, but they were still a good enough team to be there.
Well, yeah.
They also have a minus 28 goals differential right now.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Well, and that's like, I'm pretty sure Burns is bottom of the league for plus minus, which is like, holy shit.
Is he really bottom?
I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Impressive. Let's find out. NHL
and like,
stats.
For Burns, and he's got like not very many points. That was kind of like what they were talking about. Like maybe this is a good switch for Burns because, you know,
pretty close.
For whatever it is, it's pretty close.
Surprise! The Detroit Red Wings, who are leading the league in minuses, are leading the league in a player with minuses.
That makes sense.
Players, actually.
Multiple.
Andreas Athanasiou.
Ooh, really?
Minus 33 on the year.
Boy,
that's pretty rough.
Holy shit!
Close second, Valtteri Filppula, also of the Detroit Red Wings, minus 25 on the year, and then you have Brent Burns third at a minus 23.
Jeez,
that's through 34 games for Burns.
Yeah,
and only 29 games for Athanasiou. That's
I hear a lot. Like I wonder if that's a player that they try and move to.
Athanasiou?
Yeah.
See. I think he's a good player. I don't know if I think he's part of the solution in Detroit because he's a young up and coming player opposed to like a Mike Green or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a Jimmy Howard.
Yeah. Little over the hill.
Right. Detroit also has 4. Dennis Cholowski, minus 22. He must be a rookie.
Yeah, I don't know who the heck that is.
But yeah, so there's a bunch. Kevin LeBanc.
Another Josie.
Minus 18 at 6. Clefbaum minus 18.
How many points does LeBanc have?
19.
Okay, that's decent then. Because I know he was like projected to have a good season.
It's crazy, man. He's got 4 power play points, and he's a minus 18 with 19 points. So he's got at least 15 pluses. That's a lot of goals against.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's totally. A lot of goals against.
At least like 15 pluses. Probably more like 20 or 25.
Probably more than that. But officially for sure he's got that many.
Minus 50.
Yeah,
he's been on the goal for 50 goals against.
It's not the greatest Corsi, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So the Sharks, I was definitely not surprised by DeBoer at all.
Oh yeah, that's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then Hines was fired in Jersey, which
yeah,
I think is probably fair, too, because Jersey's bad. A lot of it's goaltending, but they have good players. Even Taylor Hall's been bad. Right? So it's
like when it comes to like point production and stuff, yeah, for sure. Yeah, those 2 teams are in pretty shitty situations.
So I guess since we're here talking about the Western Division or Conference, have you noticed how crazy the points situation is from top to bottom in the West?
Yeah, it's pretty nutty.
So the first place team in the West is St. Louis with 44 points. Could be overtaken by Colorado tonight with 43 points. Then you have Arizona leading the Pacific at 42 points. And then you have 3 teams in Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Calgary tied at 40. Edmonton and Calgary have identical records and just about identical row.
Yeah.
Flames are 1 short. And then you have Dallas at 39 points, so they're just behind Winnipeg in the Central. And then you have Vegas at 37 points, just behind Calgary and Edmonton. And then you go through the non-playoff teams, 36, 35, 33, 32, 30, 30, 28. That's a whopping 16 points from top to bottom. And then you go into the East, where it's 19 points for the Wings.
Yeah.
To 51 points at the top.
Yeah, 19 points. That's freaking embarrassing, dude.
Dude, that is crazy.
This has got to be, if I watched the Red Wings more,
what would they be?
Probably have heard. But this has got to be projected to be the worst Detroit season we've ever seen.
Yeah, probably for Detroit.
Like, how could you? I can't imagine them being.
They're an
worse than
original
this.
6, so I'm sure they've had some shit seasons.
Yeah, that's probably true, but like not in like the last 3 decades.
Yeah.
Considering they made the playoffs for 25 straight years or whatever. What is that? 3 years ago now.
The Red Wings are on pace right now for 47 points.
Oh my god. Okay, so what did Colorado have 3 seasons or 4 seasons ago? What was it like?
49 or no, was it in the 50s?
I feel like it was in the 40s too, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it was 49 or something.
Something like that. Like to get less than half
48.
Oh god. Yeah, to get like less than half or about half the points of the last qualifying team for the playoffs. It's pretty embarrassing.
Stinking rough. Yeah, 48 points. So
what was Red Wings?
47. So they're currently on pace to
Let's
beat
see it.
that.
Let's see it.
Which the 48 points is one of the worst seasons
Like of all
in
time,
a
right?
very, very long time.
Yeah. Especially, in this era of like salary cap era, that is mind-boggling.
That and 82 game season and 31 teams and all that stuff. Like you can the NHL being as full of parity as it is and stuff like that. Like it's
Right.
just 48 points, man. It looks good on the Avs right now because they're killing it, and
Maybe that's what Red Wings can try and look forward to. Just
Yeah,
be like, whatever. We'll make some trades. We'll get some draft picks.
right, and they just got a free like 4th overall pick from Ottawa and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like, but man, Detroit, because that's the thing with Detroit is Detroit doesn't have any promising players really. Like Dylan Larkin's good, Mantha's good,
Yeah.
Athanasiou is good, but are they great? Like
And
are
there's-
they difference makers on every night? Like are they? I'm not saying
Yeah.
are they Connor McDavid, but are they
I see it, yeah.
Taylor Hall even?
Or are they going to be a person that can lead a team? And like, you need to see consistency from that. Mantha has had good games and he's coming back soon. Actually, I don't even know if he's coming back.
No,
that
I
soon.
think he's
I heard he wasn't even skating yet. Bless you.
Jeebus.
But like even him, because like I have him in the hockey pool and I've
I
kind
have
of
him
been
one,
paying
too.
attention to them. He'll have like a good game, but then he like won't even get a point for like 4 games.
Yeah.
It's like what the hell?
One thing with Mantha though, he's only -4.
Hell, there you go. Holy
Which,
crap.
when you consider his teammate,
minus
that's
what?
pretty
52.
33.
Oh, yeah,
The team is
little
minus
too.
58 or 59.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
To be even close to even on that team is a damn accomplishment, probably.
Yeah, right. So it's like that's impressive. I think Darren Helm is still a positive player,
Oh yeah.
which is crazy. But right, like they just when this is part of the craziness of what Colorado has become. They had Nathan McKinnon and Gabriel Landeskog on that 48-point team.
Yeah, and Matt Duchene and
Matt Duchene,
Jerome McGinley.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, like they had,
Eric Johnson, I believe, was there.
yeah, he would have been.
Varlamov was there.
Yeah.
I think he was hurt a lot that year, but still, like
I mean, yeah, like honestly, in this era, there's no one else you can blame but yourself if you're that bad.
100%.
Like, there's no excuses.
But again, part of that thing is like Nathan McKinnon. That was probably a 40 or 50-point season for the guy
well, right,
because it was before he turned into the.
yeah,
Oh my God, is he almost as good as Connor McDavid?
yeah, the man McKinnon.
Yeah, right.
Not the
So it's-
kid.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah, what was it? 0.58 points per game, I think, before 3 years ago.
something like that. Yeah,
Now it's like 1.5
I'd have to find that tweet.
or 3.6.
It's crazy.
Something.
But right, so it's like, does Detroit have that? And it's easier said than done because right, nobody saw McKinnon doing this. Like nobody saw McKinnon getting 110 points,
Yeah,
but he very well could be. Like he's third in the league in scoring right
Yeah.
now,
yeah, he's
Behind-
projected for a lot.
behind Draisaitl and McDavid.
Yeah, there's like several players that are projected like over 130 points.
Right,
It's just-
yeah.
It's like fuck yeah, I want to see that.
Man,
Let's
I
go.
would be blown away if a guy hits over 130.
Because what did Kuch have? 126 or some shit last year?
I think so.
128, something like that. You see someone like pop off and get like 130, 140. That'd be so insane.
Incredible. Yeah, 128 last year.
Yeah.
He had
That
87
alone is
assists.
awesome.
I think we've said this before. 87 assists.
More than an assist a game. What the fuck?
What?
But that was Tampa last year, and they're, you can't really say that they're in the hole anymore because they've been playing really well
Well,
lately.
but this is the thing with Kucherov. He's having a bad season, right?
But
like,
he's still killing it. I
He's
think.
still 33 points in 29 games.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's still slotted for like 120 or something.
Like, he's still over a point a game. Like, that's
Yeah.
unbelievable what expectations do to you.
Oh yeah.
Right? And then team play doesn't help. But, like, it's just, this season in the NHL is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, we're seeing it just more and more. I love the kind of transition that we're seeing. Getting back to, a little bit more.
Well, look at the game last
Points.
night that I was at, right? The Flames and Leafs. Leafs are up 1-0.
Sick.
Flames tie at 1-1. Leafs go up 2-1. Flames score 3 goals in 3 minutes in the third,
Yeah.
and the game is over. But lead changes are what make games fun.
Yeah.
And the Flames did it twice in this week, right? They did it
Right.
against Colorado too.
Yeah.
Where it was down 2-0, tied 2-2, down 4-2, up 4-2. The Avs tied 4-4, winning overtime.
Yeah, that was an insane
Right?
game too.
Incredible back and forth game. Those are the games that you're like, oh my God.
Right. Glue you to your seat, and you're just like, oh,
Right? So it's just,
what's gonna happen next?
this is what the NHL wants with scoring. Nobody wants a 7-1 game.
Yeah,
But
that's
4-4 on the other hand, hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell, even like the good old 7-6s that pop out every once in a while. It's just like, hell yeah, let's go.
6-5.
The goalies might not like it.
6-5 last night.
Right.
Edmonton, Minnesota.
Right.
Minnesota comes out on top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that. I forgot. Now that we're kind of on the topic about Edmonton, we have to talk about the Tuesday night game.
Oh right.
I believe.
Carolina.
Against Carolina. Yes, correct. First of all, McDavid
Yeah.
and his epic breakaway.
looking like a freaking fourth liner. Oh man, that was brutal.
What was it, like a minute and a half into the third period? Ice is still fresh, and he
Yeah, that's not an
just
excuse.
straight up bobbles the penalty shot, and it is hilarious, especially the fact that he got chirped mercilessly. And my theory, I said this on Wednesday. My theory about that, what happens next,
Good captain.
is that Mikko Koskinen felt really bad for Connor McDavid. So I feel like as a good team guy who wants to kind of prop up his captain, McDavid's done a lot for the Oilers. He
Kind of.
he gets them a few points here and there on a nightly basis. So Koskinen felt bad, so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take the heat off of my captain, and I'm gonna let one in from center ice because I'm a good guy.
It was a bomb. Just a bomb.
First of all, what a play by Dougie Hamilton, because it's actually
It was.
it's actually really good.
It was.
Because he looks off Koskinen like he's gonna dump it down the boards.
He
and
knew
then
what he was doing.
Then he just rifles it on net and it's in. And you're like, oh,
Posting in pretty much too.
yeah,
It's
it was a
like,
beauty.
damn, dude.
Far side, I think, right? Like just
Yeah.
absolute beauty, and just destroys Koskinen. And
Yeah.
then
That
they
was-
go
that was
and
funny.
that was lost 2 in a row, and then they go and play Minnesota on Thursday night and lose 3 in a row in pretty good fashion, 6-5.
Yeah.
I think they were down 6-3 or 6-4 at one point. 6-4 for
something
sure.
like that. Yeah.
But again, it's. I think Brett said it. Yeah, you said it right. Oh, I'm looking at him like you guys can see him, but he's not here.
Oh.
Brett is
Can't see
here.
me yet.
I'm not talking to Brett. You said it right in the group chat about is this the real Oilers back again?
Mm.
Oh yeah, like a week ago.
Yeah, are they back?
After that?
Koskinen.
That goal.
That was
That was
Tuesday.
terrible.
What do you mean? It was a bomb.
Doesn't it feel right
Yeah.
for the Oilers to be bad again? Like
It does.
Doesn't this just feel right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Calgary's playing better now. It's like, things are kind of going back to normal here. Yeah, that's actually trippy, man, that they are dead even.
Like it's the same.
Same record.
Yeah, +5 or -5 is the only difference.
Yeah, 105 for goals, 4 goals against, and 95, 100. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Then look at the last 10.
But again, that
that's
whole
crazy,
division's
too.
crazy still, though, right?
That's
Like,
a flip flop. That last 10.
Yeah, like the Pacific is so. In my opinion, it's so up for grabs this year. Still,
Man, the fact that Arizona is leading the division and
says a lot about that team too.
well, that
right?
and the fact that it's what 5 points from first to fourth,
Yeah, yep.
right? Like that is insane.
Yeah, and it's Vegas is in that second wild card spot, which is not something I really. They got to be better.
Yeah,
You'd think so. Like this is gonna be almost like last year,
Well, we got-
except it might be the entire Pacific Division instead of Calgary than the
Yeah.
rest.
Vegas has flower power again, so
Yeah,
Always.
that's true. He wasn't playing tonight though.
yeah,
This
not
is
tonight.
Malcolm.
That's true.
He did. I think
He
he
played
played.
the last
Yeah, he
game.
played
Yeah,
yesterday. I
yeah.
think they played yesterday, right? I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played yesterday.
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
good
just-
to have him back.
but again, I think we kind of talked about this too. The attendance stuff is crazy.
Oh, that's one thing I haven't paid attention to since that last report.
I went so. I'm sure it was a sellout last night in Calgary for the Leafs game.
Oh,
I don't think it was. Well, sorry. I'm sure it's a sellout everywhere the Leafs go on the road trips like this, but there was definitely empty seats in Vancouver. There was a lot of empty seats last night in the Dome.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And apparently it wasn't a sellout in Edmonton for tomorrow night's game,
Which
Yet.
is Leafs.
which is Leafs. That is crazy. Like,
Hmm.
I'm sure it's a sellout. Like, I'm sure all the tickets have been sold in Calgary and Vancouver. But I was sitting press level because, I'm cheap and I don't want to spend $200 to go watch the Leafs play, especially lose like they did. But press level was like 75% full, which I feel bad for anybody who spent more than face value at that rate.
Huh.
That's surprising.
I also apparently in Vancouver it was less, but I bet you the Saddledome was 85% full tops last night.
Hmm.
The lower bowl, second bowl, everything. It was loud.
That's weird for
Like,
Toronto out of
Yeah,
any team.
well,
right?
that's what was weird to me. It
Yeah.
was and Vancouver was the same way. And it's not it looks empty because it's the start of the period. No, this was 10 minutes into each period.
Yeah.
It was like that all game.
Hmm.
And it's concerning. Obviously, the economy is not as hot as it could be in Alberta, in Canada, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Alberta's definitely taken one of the biggest hits. Western Canada's getting
But
hit, but
it's the Leafs.
Yeah.
that's what I'm shocked about. I don't know what to say right now.
Yeah,
I expect it
that's
to be
odd.
crammed in there.
I don't.
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I've
like
never
every
been to a Leafs game with you, and we've done this for a while now because it's just something we started when we lived together. That it wasn't packed.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Well, like in every time you watch a game, it's packed. I wasn't really paying
I've
attention.
read a
to the
lot of
stands, I
articles
guess.
this year saying how
Well, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
five teams
I'm
in
sure
Canada
it
that
was
are really
sold out.
dipping.
I didn't look. I didn't try and buy a ticket on Ticketmaster from the venue. I'm sure it was mostly secondary tickets because who doesn't try and sell a ticket on to the Leafs game, right?
Oh yeah.
But I was listening to Leafs radio and they were talking to Jason Strudwick out of Edmonton, and they were talking about how it's not a sellout yet in Edmonton, which is nuts.
yeah.
Nuts.
I don't really know what to say about that.
I'm gonna find
Just
out right
like-
now.
Shit, bro. What the fuck?
I'll
Two
give you-
tickets, best tickets available. There is a lot of tickets available.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, but are those secondary tickets or those straight to Ticketmaster?
That one's a resale. That's a resale.
Because I'm sure there's lots of resale, right? But it's
There's lots of resales. How do I make this bigger?
I don't know how you'd find out how many tickets are actually sold. Because there's been a lot of that going around too in the NHL where Carolina's announcing sellouts and you're like, it doesn't look like a sellout.
Right. Right.
Which again, a sellout is very different than full attendance.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing that lots
Right.
of people don't understand.
Right? A sellout is very different.
You can sell your tickets, just people won't go.
But at the
still.
same time, you have to be worried as a team, as a franchise, that you're making a lot of money on people being there because they buy stuff.
That's what I was just gonna say.
They
Yeah.
buy beer, buy food, buy whatever.
Yeah.
So it's if you're selling a ticket, that's one thing, but
The-
you need the secondary
The
revenue.
NHL makes the ticket. the venue makes the money, like what they sell, the beer, the food, the
Yeah.
stuff like that, the jerseys. Like they make margin on jerseys, the collectibles,
For
all
sure.
that stuff. The 50-50, that's where they make their money to
Yeah.
upgrade that building and keep it up.
Yeah.
Not the ticket.
Yeah. So I know it's concerning for sure. It's definitely not the first we're gonna hear of this. I'm sure it's the other weird thing to me is the Flames are on a 6-game winning streak. Like, okay, a month ago when the Flames were awful,
Yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't go either.
yeah,
didn't wanna
both
go.
of you guys weren't even watching games. I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Isn't it 7?
7 in a row now.
Yeah, 7. That's what
Didn't you just say 6?
yeah, going in
6
the last
for
Oh,
the
sorry,
Toronto
sorry,
game.
okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like, it's just weird to me that when your team's doing well, like you don't even go.
Especially to the Leafs.
It's not like it was snowing yesterday,
Oh yeah, it's fine.
right? It's winter. It's December. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
it's-
shitty.
You live in Calgary. You're fucking used to it.
If you're going to a Flames game, you're going until it's minus 40. Like
Yeah.
people
It
stand
just-
outside
people
minus 20
still-
here.
It
Yeah.
just blows my mind, right? And stuff like that. You know, Tuesday night against Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, fair
Sure.
enough. Florida Panthers or something. Yeah.
This is Thursday night, which is pretty much a weekend in Calgary, right? Stuff like that. So it's just weird. It was very weird to me. And
Yeah.
as usual, Leafs fans were out in full force.
If
and-
I was there, that's
going
something
nuts.
I absolutely would have commented on.
yeah, right. So it's like just one of those things that being there, you noticed, right? Or I noticed. But yeah, like atmosphere was normal for me. Like it's crazy. Like every time Leafs step on the ice and
In my
instantly
opinion,
cheers.
in
and
my
stuff,
opinion,
and-
you've never heard that building loud until you've been seeing it in playoffs or heard it in
Yeah.
playoffs. Like that's a whole nother level.
for sure.
But there's always a standard level of cheering. And
Well, yeah, like we
Yeah.
went to the Avs game, right? And it was so. Last night was way better than that, but you know, it's just it's kind of scary, especially watching the new rink finally get pushed through in Calgary.
I think
just-
honestly that alone too will probably drive more people there.
Maybe, but it's not working in Edmonton apparently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
that's
I guess that's
what's
true.
scary.
Yeah, and that's only 2 years after it's
Yeah.
been open.
It's not exactly old yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, who
it's
knows?
just stuff like that that's a little terrifying.
Yeah. Have to keep an eye on that throughout the season, see if it gets better, hopefully.
Oh, I guess we can talk about Brady Tkachuk
Oh,
before we get into some depressing stuff. Keith Primo's kid, Caden Primo,
Which is awesome. Yeah, I was like, I didn't realize that was his son.
is currently backing up in Montreal, which, you know, of course they need another stellar goalie in Montreal. Not saying that this kid's going to be stellar, but potentially.
Yeah.
He did not get lucky enough to win his first start in the NHL, but his second start in the NHL, he did pick up the W. And after the game, Brady Tkachuk
Little sleazeball.
took the puck. And I believe he does this on a regular basis, but I'm not sure. But he claimed that he didn't know it was Caden Primo's first win. So he didn't know that he needed the puck.
Oh, yeah.
But good guy Carey Price went and got it for him, and all is well.
Yeah.
But it's funny because they interviewed Brady about it after, and he's like, "No, I had no idea." But then he's like, "I'm good friends with him. Like we played together and stuff." And he's like, we talked about this." He's like, "It's like how do you not know it's your friend?" So he's totally fucking with them,
Yeah.
like 100%. There's no way he wasn't fucking with him.
That's funny.
He probably would have gave it to him after anyway, but he said he was going to give it to a
just
kid.
like mails it to him. Haha, just kidding. Here's your puck, bitch.
Yeah, shreds it up,
Just-
puts it in a Ziploc.
That is pretty funny.
Here's
Just
your
make it
puck.
into
Some-
playground rubber.
Some assembly required.
Yeah.
But kind of funny.
Yeah,
Different
that's
story
funny.
for Caden Primo. I'm going to mess that up a lot. This
What is it?
Caden Primo.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going
It
to call
has
him
be
Keith
the same
all the
fucking
time.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's Keith Primo's son?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so good on him. He honestly looks like a pretty good goalie, so
Yeah.
could be talking about him for a long
I
time.
saw
to
the
come.
highlights. He made some good
Yeah.
stops, so good for him.
Actually, I did forget about that. David Riddick last night
Mm.
against the Leafs was absolutely unreal.
Oh, yeah.
The only two goals that beat him were absolute snipe shows.
Yeah.
And that 5-on-3 that the Leafs had in the third period, David Riddick was unbelievable.
Just a fucking wall. Yeah. Yeah, he's been playing so good this year. Like, he is what got us to the point where we are. You know, like, our season could have been way worse.
How many games
Oh,
has he
yeah.
played now?
Oh, fuck.
Like
I don't even
29
know.
or something?
A lot, yeah. Well,
Maybe more.
how many has Talbot played? He's played, what, 5?
That's what I'm thinking.
Because he played, like, what, 2 in a row, I think, right?
Yeah.
Last week?
Yeah.
But Riddick's played this way the whole year. It's just
Oh, yeah.
everyone in front of him was.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
he's been.
if he
we got-
wasn't...
26 starts. So
I said
mean,
a few episodes ago he was the best player on the Flames this year.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know who else you could lump into that combo. Because realistically, like even like Gio was not playing that well for
No.
a while. Everyone looks kind of better now, and you know that's kind of like that was kind of a sneaking feeling I was having. It was just like, well, maybe when Bill's a bitch, I guess no one liked him,
Maybe.
and maybe you know that opens up things for Johnny and stuff.
Yeah.
He needs to be catered to. Looks like it. He's playing like actually Johnny again.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, holy shit, I haven't seen this in like all year.
And you know what? One thing I haven't seen, a lot of crying on the bench. From what I've seen,
They got the
last
purple
7,
Gatorade going again,
I was
man.
gonna say, and the purple Gatorade.
fucking
back.
It's
Oh,
pretty
it's awesome.
hard to whine and complain when you won 7 in a row.
That's
wait-
true, but he still
Wait
does
until
it.
they lose. Wait until they lose 2 or 3.
Man, he'll score
Yeah.
2 goals in a game and be pissed off he didn't get the third, or
Maybe.
shift to go get the
Or
third.
he'll get
He's-
slashed in the hand. And be like, "Ah!"
Yeah, like he's done it on the bench
We'll see.
Yeah.
times. Like,
Oh, I'm sure it'll come back.
Yeah.
You know, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's
or he'll
inevitable.
be
time
on the
to
power
trade.
play and
It's
he'll
time
hit a
to
post
trade
and he'll
Johnny
be pissed
Gaudreau.
off.
I don't know. I don't know about that yet.
It's always time to trade Johnny Gaudreau. Jared, he's playing well. Trade him.
We'll
Trade his ass.
have to see. You know, if I doubt they would do it this year, especially right now. Obviously,
I'm
but
telling
like,
you, they got to trade him before the next playoff run.
If I just don't think they will. You know,
They got.
unless they can get like Taylor Hall.
they
or
got
something
to
with
do
that.
it. Maybe.
But if it doesn't go well this season though, and like if we do make the playoffs and he does the same shit, yeah, fuck yeah, get him out of here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but that'll be too late.
but no one. But that's gonna be 2 playoffs in a row where he does this, and everyone's gonna be like, well, why would I want him?
Exactly. That's why you got to do this year.
Yeah,
It's time.
it's a very fragile thing, you know. You want your player to have good value, but you also, you know, if he's having good value, you're like, well, fuck,
I want him now.
just stay and keep doing it though. But yeah, like Monty's looked better too. You know, the entire team has looked better. Obviously, it's good.
There's smiles on some people's faces, so
Right,
that's a
and
nice
oh,
change.
it was just so nice to see Johnny squirting freaking purple Gatorade in people's mouths
Yeah,
again.
and
I was like, "Fuck yes, this is what we need right now."
Yeah.
like get that emotion going and that camaraderie going again. Like, damn.
Bill could have taken that Gatorade away, so you never.
Well, yeah, like who knows, right? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Came in the room, took that bottle, slammed it on the
Johnny,
floor.
this isn't allowed anymore. You're being, you know, this is getting too much media coverage.
You're too happy.
Yeah. I'm gonna kick you in the head.
Speaking of happy, I didn't really realize this until it happened, but I feel like we should bring it up. Tim Thomas recently was
Oh right.
inducted into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. It's been a very long time since he's played in the NHL, and it's been a very long time since we've heard from Tim Thomas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He retired and disappeared. And at first, it seemed like, well, I mean, up until like this week, it seemed like he did it because he was somewhat forced out of the game.
Yeah.
Because it was never the same after they
It's
won
kind
the
of what
cup.
it seemed, right?
It was never the same after they won the cup and he said no to the White House.
Right.
Because then he played, I think, one more season in Boston and then left, and I totally forgot he played in Florida, and then he retired.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2 seasons later.
I thought he left and then came back and played in Florida for a year. I thought he took a couple.
Maybe
years
that-
off.
yeah, here,
he
let
took
me-
a couple years off. Came
Yeah,
back in Florida.
you might be right about
and
that.
then he left again.
Or maybe like a year or something. Yeah.
It might have been a year, but I remember him taking time off.
Yeah, you might be right about
He
that.
didn't go straight to Florida. I'm pretty sure about that.
Just 1 season off.
1 season
Yeah.
off, right?
Sounds
And
right,
he ended up playing 40 games in Florida, and then I guess he played in Dallas that same year too. Not the greatest of seasons, 287 and 297.
Well, he didn't
What?
have all his blood flowing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so Well, I'm gonna play this interview or whatever you want to call it, scrum or whatever, after he was inducted to the hall. It's very disturbing because I had
It
no
is.
idea that this was even close to a thing.
Right. Well, especially for Thomas, right?
Yeah, right.
Like you've heard the stories and all the crap that Carcillo's been going through and went through, right?
Carcillo
And like who else? I don't know. There's been so many.
basically any of the fighters and stuff.
Yeah, like
and,
Tutu, I think was
yeah,
talking
like
about that.
Clark MacArthur
Yeah.
and Savard and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
Right. All these
Savard,
guys
for
who
sure.
Paul Correa came out last year. Like there was a big thing there with his concussion issues. And
Right.
obviously Eric Lindros, right? But Tim Thomas was never. It never was a thing. Like it never ever came out that he had this issue.
Yeah.
But he, in his induction presser, he had a bit of a chat about it. And if you want to watch this is like, it's a 5.5 minute clip here. We're going to show a couple minutes of it, but it's really, it's disturbing how bad it was for Tim Thomas.
Where you sit, was there regret, or did you look back and say,
Well,
why did I?
when you're there but not there, and you can't think, but you're watching everything and you're seeing your family, suffer because you're suffering, but you can't do anything about it, and you can't even communicate. Which is, I couldn't communicate with anybody for a few years. I didn't call my dad. I didn't talk to anybody, and so there was a time period, where I hated the game, so to speak. I didn't get fired. I mean, I didn't sit there and I hate it. Just like my rebound effect was like, this wasn't worth it. That's where I was then. Where I am today is past that, and I ended up learning so many lessons out of the experience. It brought me tighter with my family. It taught me a value for life. And a value for my brain that I've never had before. And I have appreciation for everything that I never had before, so I don't regret anything.
Does an event like this make you think about all those things that you do appreciate about?
Yeah, being welcomed back into the arms of the hockey family, so to speak, has been great. It's reminded me of all the great people that I crossed paths with all throughout my career. So it's been very impactful. I think that was the original question.
So, I mean, it's not a surprise to watch a guy that gets inducted into a Hall of Fame be emotional like that. What is a surprise is watching a guy talk about how basically he was a vegetable because of concussions.
Yeah. Scary, man.
Which, coming from a goalie,
and think about how many goalies get concussed these days.
well, so if you want to take the cynic side, you can give Tim Thomas a bit of grief because he didn't wear a goalie helmet. He, in his last few years, those were legitimately designed by a goalie helmet company. They were goalie helmets. They just looked like player helmets.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't Dominic Hasek.
Right.
However, I'd like to know what Dominic Hasek went through with his player helmet. Because those were player helmets.
Yeah, and Osgood.
right? Osgood, those guys, right? It's just listening to a guy like Tim Thomas, which he may not have the, well, what would you call it? The most joyous outlook, or like the most, like you don't look back at Tim Thomas and think of like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. But I also don't think of him as a firecracker that's always pissed off like a Sean Avery,
Yeah.
right? Like I think of Sean Avery very different than I do
Anybody?
Tim Thomas, right? Like a guy like that, right? So it's just watching him be like that and then talk about how bad life after hockey was for him for a long time. And there's another clip. I don't know. I can't remember if it's the beginning of that one that we skipped ahead of, but he talks about having a brain scan after, and he had 5% blood flow
To two
to
thirds.
two-thirds of his brain,
Yes, fuck.
and then 50% blood flow to the rest of it.
So not like nothing was going on.
Like, are you
good there.
kidding me?
Like,
And that, if that is just concussions, that is terrifying, and also terrible for the sport.
yeah. Well, then it just like,
Not any sport in general that has concussions.
oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
just
like-
hockey; it's football. It's
Yeah, like, imagine
soccer,
NFL,
Soccer,
dude.
it's head, it's everything.
fighting,
Fighting, yeah, being an MMA fighter. Freaking
Right?
Chuck Liddell, man. What the hell?
Yeah, right. So it's like,
Stop fighting, dude.
yeah, right. It's terrifying because I don't
Penn, stop
I don't
fighting.
remember Tim Thomas being concussed ever.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Right. This isn't that long ago. This is 2012.
Yeah.
He won the Stanley Cup in 2010, 2011
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
Bruins. And in 2013, 2014, he was taught, like in that interview, he talks about how he pretty much was on autopilot the whole season.
Right, yeah.
He said that he could perform to 90 to 95% of his capabilities
On the ice.
on the ice, but at home and stuff, it took him hours to figure out what he was like, anything.
Yeah, he would wake up and it would take him 2 or 3 hours to just refocus his thoughts and figure out where he is and what he's
Could
doing,
you
what he has to
imagine?
do.
Yeah,
Like, could you imagine? That's like, because that's like,
but
you
then
know, some of the scariest shit in
but
life.
this is why that the concussion protocol stuff has to be a thing,
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
because this guy was basically concussed for an entire season and just repetitively getting concussed
Which also
on the daily, and just kept showing up to the ring, just kept performing, just kept being normal.
and like like nowadays, you'd think that there's no way he would be like medically passed.
Well,
right?
there's no way that people talked to him and thought he was in good shape.
Right, yeah, like because he's saying he could barely like
Like
fucking communicate.
it sounds like he was sounded like he was drunk 24/7.
Right, or just like totally out of it.
Yeah,
Like stoned.
yeah, one of the two, right? Like there's
like,
no
yo,
way.
Tim, what are you having for lunch? What?
Man, I don't know why,
That's
but
scary.
Timmy's like
Has
really
he
just,
said anything
he's
to
just
you?
out of it lately.
Like, yeah,
Right?
but like that's the scariest thing. Like the mind
No one
going.
on the team knew about this? Like, nobody?
Well, like
That's
that's
the crazy
I wonder,
question.
right?
That's the thing, right? Is like the trainers, the medical staff. At the same time, this is in Florida. Like, they don't exactly have the best of the best. I don't imagine.
Well, and like it's probably changed drastically.
for sure.
Especially even that amount of time, 8 years.
Yeah.
It's probably changed a lot.
Right? And it's-
Obviously, we know that because the concussion protocol and everything, spotters.
Yep.
But
yeah.
I feel real bad for this guy. Like, I feel real bad for Tim Thomas after this.
Yeah.
Where for the last 4 or 5 years, Tim Thomas has just been like off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
And dude's like what? He's probably like what, 45, maybe.
Um,
He
Yeah,
might
he's
not even
probably
be that old.
45.
I know when he like
45.
came in. Oh, okay, nailed it. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
That is terrifying.
45, and your mind is like that. Like fuck. Yeah.
Right? And I just, it's crazy, man. It's
So all you NHL players that listen to our podcast, because I know everybody does.
we have so many NHL
Um,
followers, bro.
Don't get mad at concussion spotters. Who was it actually that recently got pissed? Oh, it was Marchand, right? Yeah. Man, they're just doing their job and they're just looking out for you. Like,
You can
think
go make
about Tim Thomas now.
Yeah.
Like,
You can go make a bunch of money, but you might not be able to spend it.
well, yeah,
You
hell,
might not have the time.
you might not even know who the hell you are.
We were just
Like-
talking about it at work today. We were talking about doping because the Russians got banned from international competition, period.
Right.
For the next 4 years. Or
I guess
whatever.
that like
Did that
kind of just
just
got announced.
Happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the rest of it, not just Olympic stuff. The rest of
Everything.
international competition, period.
Fuck you, Russia. They just
For the
get
next 4 years.
boned.
Yeah, something like that,
That's
yeah.
summer and winter.
Yeah, I think so. But it's not just that. It's like World Championships. It's
anything international.
Is it World Juniors?
Double IHF.
I don't know.
Ooh, that would
Probably.
be- yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, so Canada's got a chance.
Well, they'll probably play.
I'm just joking.
They'll
There's, like,
probably play
Finland.
the athletes of Russia or whatever again or something.
What?
I don't know. We'll see.
yeah,
Like,
I
I don't
wonder.
know the details honestly. It's
Man, I've been so freaking busy.
right. So it's. But anyway, we were talking about like doping and stuff, and one of our guys at work that's not necessarily the biggest of sports fans basically said, why is it illegal to dope? And it's not actually that bad of a question, right? If everybody has access to the doping stuff, steroids or whatever they want,
Yeah,
right?
then it's different.
But again, part of it is life after the sport,
Well, yeah.
right? You don't want people
That's
to
the
just
biggest.
die.
Yeah.
That's why it's not a thing in fighting. It's why steroids is against the rules in baseball, but it's a real legitimate fact. If you want to be better at something, it could not be against the rules.
Yeah, that's like the whole, running kind of meme of like, let's see two hopped up heavyweights on fucking piled on steroids fight.
I'm kind of down.
Just do like
However-
360 spinning back fist.
Well, yeah, that's it, right? Like it's how again, we talked about this, I think. The reason why sports is such a popular thing among human beings is we like to watch human beings be the best at something
Mhm.
at a competition. Well, doing drugs, like doing performance enhancers, makes you better.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, it's not totally out of the realm of possibilities that it could just
I
not be
guess.
illegal, right?
Yeah. And who knows? There's probably some kind of sport.
It's
Out
fucked
there
up.
where it's
I'm
allowed.
sure, dude. I am sure.
Cricket? Does cricket have doping?
I don't know.
Rugby?
Probably. Yeah. Right? So it's something like that. Like, on one hand, the curiosity has me like, what
What if?
What is the absolute best a human can do? Like,
Anderson Silva
What is
in
the
his prime.
What is the fastest?
That's it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
What-
pretty funny.
What is the fastest a human being can run 100 meters?
Yeah, let's get Usain Bolt hopped up here.
Yeah.
And just see him fly, and then he'll probably have a heart attack at the end. But hell,
But
let's see
hey,
it.
he did it. That's all that matters, right?
true,
6
though.
second.
It's
100
true.
meter.
Steroids do make just grow everything. Doctors give it to patients.
Well, yeah,
when
that's
something's
exactly
happening.
right.
Like it does everything right. They
But it's a
speed stuff
case
up,
of
they
it's a
rebuild.
case of health after your sport, and that is so key.
Mhm.
And watching a guy like Tim Thomas of all people,
Yeah, right. It's like someone that you would not expect
no,
at all.
like
I wonder how
if,
Iggy's doing,
if
man.
Corey Crawford retires, and
Yeah.
this is Corey Crawford, I wouldn't be surprised because he's had such a bad concussion issue
like,
the
what,
same thing
3?
happens,
over
yeah.
the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
It's just, again, Tim Thomas was at the very tail end of the time where concussions weren't that big of a thing yet.
Yeah, like it was.
They happened. Like Larry Lindros, Paul
And, like,
Correa, like
it was
they
a
knew
big
they had
deal.
concussions. Yeah.
But like they weren't studied as much.
Yeah,
that's for
right.
sure.
It wasn't as crazy as it was now or is now.
Yeah, which is good.
I
least
saw
we're
this
making
this
progress.
interview today and I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, that's crazy because you said that to me. You hear about Tim Thomas? I'm like, what? The fuck about Tim Thomas?
I found out about this live on air, people.
That's
pretty much,
crazy.
It's just nuts, man. It's
Yeah, that's nuts.
of the freaky things that have happened this week with Tynan and
Yeah,
stuff.
right?
It's like
Is this the worst case concussion thing that we've seen yet, or is he the only one that they actually did some real testing on or some specialty testing on and they found something?
yeah, like I wonder.
Like is this scan gonna start getting done in more Like, could
Yeah,
Crawford have this scan done?
Well, that could have Paul Correa had it. Could Eric Lindros have? Obviously,
Paul Correa is a really good example.
Paul
too, 'cause
Correa and
he
Eric
had
Lindros,
the
like-
same symptoms he did when he left.
Yeah.
He woke up and he's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and he
Right.
came out and said that, right?
He came out and said the same
last
thing.
year.
Yep.
Which was
when he came back.
equally
Yeah.
as terrifying. But again, Paul Correa, he got knocked the fuck out in
Well,
that one
yeah.
game and then scored the winner,
In the same.
He should have
game.
never come back.
Where are you at?
right?
concussion
And
spotters?
he's probably feeling the effects of coming back now, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the same with Crosby.
Well, he's a surfer now.
Well, but it's the same with Crosby, right? Like
Yeah.
the reason that the Winter Classic concussion was so bad was because he got reconcussed,
Yeah.
right? It was the first one, loosened everything up.
And that's what's the problem, right? Because
It's
that's
the
what they talk
second-
about in boxing all the time, right? That's
Fighting,
why
yeah.
boxing is so dangerous because you
Boxing-
can
well-
get concussed and then get back up and get
Get
reconcussed.
reconcussed.
Every time you get dazed, you pretty much get concussed.
Oh, right. That's your freaking brain going. "Brr."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gong inside your head just going off.
Yeah, you don't just like. Your
Right?
eyes just don't do that.
right?
for
So,
nothing.
and then you continue fighting because it's
Yeah.
in your nature. Well, you like literally fighting would disappear. Like boxing and UFC fighting and stuff like that disappears
NFL
if all
would
of a
be in
sudden
big trouble.
one days is the fight's over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. It'd be like
What is the
whoever lands the first clean punch.
right? You'd have to watch jujitsu and you'd have to watch wrestling. You'd have
yeah,
to, like, it'd be it.
jiu-jitsu, freaking
MMA
taekwondo.
would be gone.
Yeah.
And
Or not
but at the same time, like maybe it should be. I love watching it. We all love watching the UFC.
It's part of our
We're all
DNA.
stoked tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, that's going to be a good one.
I can't wait to watch that tomorrow.
It's going to be a good one.
But it's not a good sport for life after the
Well,
sport.
like, MMA's better, obviously. But, like, it's
Barely.
obviously it's not great.
Barely. Like
Well, it's quite a bit better than boxing. Because boxing's fucked.
maybe.
Well, it is. It's like
Well,
scientific.
no, like I
proven
know it
and shit.
is, but it's like chocolate L still happens.
Well, that's the thing. Well, this is when you got to realize if you're like a fighter or something and you get knocked out 3 times in a row, 3 fights in a row,
Done.
call it a day, dude. What's the point?
It's not worth it.
What is the point? Especially if you've made it like BJ Penn. Like, I always just go back to him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, stop. You have made so much money. You have your own gym. Your family's rich from before you even started fighting. Just stop, dude. Like, you're
Why
going to,
did you start fighting?
in 10 years, you're going to be a freaking vegetable for sure.
Yeah, right. And
Like, ugh, it's not good.
that's what's terrifying, right? And then you look at football,
Mhm.
same kind of thing.
Well,
Guys
yeah.
get smashed in the head, smashed in the head, smashed in the head, smashed in the head. And then
Yeah, every play.
yeah, and then life after football, there's
Go figure.
It's scary.
It happens in soccer a lot too with headers.
That's
Oh yeah,
that's
cracking heads.
that-
yeah.
that-
Now,
too,
now
but, like-
that has to be really bad. 'cause
That's a
that's
sc-
no protection.
that's a scary one too because it's like
and it's
soccer, they're all sissies and they're all this and they're all that. It's like yeah, but that's one of the sports with the most concussion problems. Wait, what?
yeah, and it's also like,
Yeah.
what do you even do about that? Taking heading out of the game?
Okay,
It's like, nah.
You're literally taking half of soccer out of the game
Yeah,
if you take
Yeah.
that away.
yeah. It's just like it just happens.
You'd be like, okay, we can have hockey, but you can't pass.
You can add shoulders.
Go back to like go back to like hockey, original hockey where you can only pass backwards. We'll have that.
Yeah, that was a rule.
That was a thing. Come on, Jared, catch up.
So
What
it was
the
like rugby where
fuck?
you couldn't pass forward.
Yeah, it
You
was
could
like
go
fucking
down
serious?
The line.
It was like the 19. Like,
Could you like flick it up and kick it up?
pretty sure it
But there
was up to,
wasn't
like,
the blue
30s or something.
lines. I don't think at that time. There
No.
was just the red line.
I don't even know if the red line existed.
There was just a center line. I don't think there was any rules with it.
Probably, yeah,
I just
probably.
like
eh?
here-
Yeah, I have a
center.
history book. I didn't know you knew that.
Yeah, I did
History of hockey.
I did lots of hockey things in school.
Nice,
Oh, okay.
nice.
It's ridiculous.
I did not.
Yeah, let's
know
go
that.
back to that. That's what that would be what taking headers away from soccer would be like.
Yeah.
Then you'd be like, okay, this is stupid. Why are we watching
What
this?
sport is
stupid fucking
this?
Sport?
Yeah.
Right? It's
Oh, that's funny.
there's gonna be a time when hitting is no longer a thing in hockey. I almost guarantee it. Because it's gonna be that or nothing.
Not, dude.
It's gonna be that or no game. Like
Just get a big bubble helmet thing. I don't know. Figure it out.
just everybody, let's play sumo hockey
Just put a ball of plasma around your head.
like they do with the dome.
It's gonna turn.
it's sumo hockey.
I don't think hitting will completely leave, but it'll turn into like beer league where you can still kind of rub out a bit and do. Things
Yeah, but
like
that's
that,
not hitting.
but-
That's like
Yeah,
girls hockey.
Contact.
Girls hockey is no
Okay.
hitting, so it's
Yeah.
going to be that.
that'd be the worst.
Contact's allowed, but hitting is not.
That's true.
Let's hope that never happens.
I bet you in 25 years, easy.
That'll be the day I stop watching hockey.
I'm sure you'll have a reason before then.
Hopefully not. Let's not.
Taylor Hall still hasn't been traded.
Yeah, out of all the hype off that.
There's rumors. Well, so I got definitely screwed up by a tweet last night because there was a tweet that I saw. It was like something like, "I'm hearing reports that Taylor Hall is going to be skating with the Colorado Avalanche tomorrow night."
Oh, God.
Yeah, because they're playing each other. You idiot.
Yeah. You fucker. You dirty fucker.
That one got me real bad because it was like mid Leafs game, and I was like watching the game, reading the tweet. And I was like, God, no. Oh, never mind.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So Taylor Hall. It sounds like they want to trade him by Christmas, though. Which I believe the date is like the 22nd or something. Is like the roster freeze thing.
Oh, the shutdown for the
Yeah.
break, the 3-day break. Or whatever.
Yeah. So it sounds like they want to trade him before then.
Yeah. Get on it.
We'll see.
I won't hold my breath.
Where's he actually from again?
Edmonton, right?
Um,
Like you're talking like
Yeah,
hometown.
his hometown. Is it Edmonton?
Actually,
I
no.
think it's here, isn't it?
Is it? No. he's
Yeah, I'm
not.
pretty sure he's from Calgary.
That's what I thought it was. Maybe.
Is he
Is it
actually?
Alberta?
I feel like it's Alberta.
Yeah, Calgary, Alberta.
What
yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
How did I not know that? Wow.
I don't remember where he played in Calgary though.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
Private league.
Private league.
I don't know. Did they go to Edge?
Probably not.
Edge. That didn't. I guess he. How old is he? Is he our
25?
age?
Oh, he played in Toronto, I think, or Kingston.
Interesting.
But yeah, so he played for Calgary Canucks, banned in AAA, and then moved to Ontario. Anyway,
He's coming home for Johnny.
maybe
or
for
something
Johnny,
else.
that would be a good move.
Hell, that gives it even more incentive.
I would support this message.
Just give us a little bit more edge for the Oilers
I
game in January.
I still need Taylor Hall to go to Edmonton.
Well, he will with the Flames. On
No.
January 8th.
I want him to ruin the Oilers season.
He will with the Flames.
Yeah, he'll go there and score a hat trick on them.
It's not enough. I need him to ruin like 30 games.
Yeah, the thing is he's not gonna do that.
He's just gonna most
But-
likely make anyone better. Like,
But maybe if he goes there and then they suck for some reason, I'm down.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. He's a cancer.
It's
man.
already happening, so he's a cancer. Is he a cancer?
know.
Is he one of those players? I don't know.
They sucked and then they got rid of him.
has
he
he been
sucks
on a
everywhere
team
he goes.
yet that has made the playoffs?
Well, yeah.
Has he made the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Edmonton.
he made the
Oh, right,
yeah.
okay.
He's only got 5 career playoff games.
Yeah, like that's,
So he didn't make it very much. One time.
in how many seasons?
Like
Probably 8
eight
now.
or
8,
something,
9,
yeah.
yeah.
It'd be 9, I think.
sucks.
It'd be
That
9
sucks.
at the end of this year.
I'm sure he's ready for that kind of play of hockey. Just like, can we make the playoffs? Can I not be on a shitty team?
No.
Come to the Flames, bro. It's
No
fine.
deal. No deal.
Or go to the Avs if you really want to win a cup.
Brett, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, because I don't know exactly 100% what we talked about at the start because I was doing some other stuff. But I think you touched about all of it.
Pretty
We
much.
touched it.
You touched it all.
Touched it very nicely. Pretty short episode today. Only an hour and 10. Watch out.
It's because we do this 3 times a week.
I know.
Yeah.
We
Anyway.
do 3 1-hour episodes a week.
For those that are wondering what we're talking about, we have a Colorado Avalanche podcast twice a week on the Hockey Podcast Network. If you'd like to come check us out, then
Yeah, we don't even talk about Colorado on this podcast, so if you
A little
actually want
bit.
to hear about them.
That's why we touched on them a
It's
little
probably
more than normal.
why we don't really talk about them that much.
We try to
Wow, we
avoid
already
it.
talked about that.
You can also follow us at Bench Boys on Twitter and at Offside by a Mile Pod. No, Offside by a Mile. That's it, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed. We are almost at Christmas time.
Yay.
2 weeks, basically. 12 days.
Yeah.
12 days to Christmas. Whoop, whoop. All right. Thanks for joining us, and we will catch you next Friday.
Merry Christmas. I'm running away.
You didn't even go start it or end it. It's like I give you an opportunity, Brett, and then you're just like, nah, I don't want to.